Somebody gonna sing.
So
Melissa's favorite today.
Yep. Now here.
I'm amazing, Amanda.
yeah. Oh man.
Go,
Thank
Trish.
you all. Thank you all.
Oh yeah. So we're back on.
Yeah.
Back on.
We're
Check.
good.
So Patricia,
Here we go.
Thank
Here
you.
we go. Here we go. Here we go.
proceed.
Thank you,
Proceed,
Joseph.
Barbara.
Yeah, so I got a best local radio voice along with a lot of greats here in Orlando. Local influencer, which I didn't even know that was a thing, and I got that one. And also, our trivia company, GoldenEye Entertainment, has the #1 spot right now with trivia in Southern Florida.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
So it's been a fun few weeks.
So funny shit. Yesterday, I called Patricia because allegedly I was someplace where somebody was trying the milk challenge. So I called him to give words of encouragement to the gentleman that was doing it. And let me tell you,
You were like, you can do it.
still have my money in my pocket.
Yeah.
Still have my money in my pocket. I'm like, it's impossible.
Well, my question is, sir, did you give the man Oreos?
No, there was no Oreos given. I mean, I would give him Oreos. I have no problem giving. You were never fucking finished. I could have given you 1 million Oreos.
Oh no, I how about in 3 weeks? Let's do it again.
All right. Let's do it again.
And I will go double or nothing on the original price. I will gladly give you that.
I don't remember what the original price was.
I throw a pension check in. I'm gonna throw a pension check in on this.
What? No.
No.
There's no fucking way he makes it. Joey Chestnuts can't do it. I mean, let's be serious about it, So I would love to do it. And
And
we will
remember,
get it on
like the
film.
last time we did it, there were other factors involved that allegedly I'm not going to talk about, but
Yeah.
it's give me some
Sounds
Oreos.
like an excuse to
Oh,
me.
yeah. Fuck. Everybody has excuses and assholes.
But no. Give me some Oreos and I'll do it. I will
Yeah.
definitely
All
do it.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the world of announcements as we're doing stuff here, like we have the ALS, PLS competition coming up.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Yeah, July 14th.
14th and 15th.
And we had a count of like 14 or so teams earlier. And then
Yeah.
people waiting on Monday, they release the other spots for people that already signed up to have extra teams.
Oh,
So remembering that we're only going to take 24 teams to this.
all right. So you better get ready Monday.
And Patricio is going to have his people. He's out there.
People.
I
finding his
gotta
people.
call my nerds.
Yeah, we're gonna have. It's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
We have put a lot of work into making us in the committee have put a lot of work into making this thing happen.
Yes.
And
I've seen some things.
yes, absolutely. And you know what people don't understand? This is the oldest. This is the first competition. This is the oldest one. This is the Super Bowl of the competitions. And Jason, you were last week. You were the competition camera king last week.
Well, I didn't really have a lot of competition.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But while you were there, like basically everybody was asking about, hey, is this going to happen? Is that we're going to do this? And everybody's interested in it. Everybody wants to come to this thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just as much as they are afraid to sign up for it because it's an ass kicker.
Mhm.
And I do think,
And it's the middle of July.
yeah,
Ugh.
Oh, hot
And we are
sticky.
outside.
it's in that. It's not. We don't know where it's at. We don't know if it's outside, inside. We don't know.
You're right.
So
I'm just saying it's hot outside.
Yes.
Yeah, it is very hot.
It's
Yeah.
even hot inside now.
Like
Yeah.
Hot outside.
Yeah.
I got a thing from the Weather Channel that the other day was the hottest day of the year.
Well, listen. This is
It's June. July's worse.
all I'm going to say to the teams that are signed up and the teams that are waiting to sign up. It will test who the real paramedics are out there.
Ooh.
This is their thing.
Hi, Ben.
Like it's going to test the paramedics. It's going to be the freaking competition to be part of. And I am so happy that Melissa and the EMLRC has, willing to go through with this. And
Yeah.
they've been, like people don't understand the behind the scene things that it takes to put this competition on.
Right.
I had no idea.
And for all of those listeners out there, we'll give you a little hint that there may or may not be a victim with a firework injury.
You may or
Do
may
we
not
get to find out what actually happened?
How is
Are
your
they
person?
are they dead yet?
I have no idea.
I mean, do we have any updates
I've
or
tried.
anything on
I've
this?
tried, And every time I call them, they say talk to Carlos. So and I
yes.
try.
Yes.
But
Yes. So
unfortunately, I don't know.
you know what's interesting is that people that have been listening to the podcast don't really understand that the firework man could be helpful to know.
Yes, exactly.
So going
that's
back
what I'm saying.
and listening to some podcasts where I stop you at very precise times
Yes.
every time.
Yes.
Because could this be part
I would
of
like-
the
I would
ALS
like an
BLS
update.
competition?
Exactly.
Yes.
And we could use all of your thumbs up and all of your comments to help boost us. So
Hey, and
please,
you know,
by
listen,
all means,
I'm
Maybe,
not-
maybe we'll
I'm
even
not-
hear the end of it.
yes.
I'm not trying to I'm not trying to sell podcasts. I'm not trying to sell people come in and watch this thing. But what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. Anybody that knows me, I've been competing for a long time.
Yeah.
You've come to my competition before. Is there something there?
Yeah.
Hey, it's either your time. You can waste your time or not waste your time. I don't know.
Anyway,
Do you want to win? I don't.
Right.
You want to win?
Hey.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Hey,
You know-
let's
Shot.
do it.
Oh,
Shot.
Everybody.
Cheers.
there we go. Yeah, absolutely.
That too.
So that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Bring your game.
bring your A game.
He's sipping on his.
He's gonna sip on mine too.
No, I don't think he wants to.
Yeah,
That is
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
sure.
my.
I'm sure Brayley would.
He was giving them away.
I'm sure Brayley would sip on anything you give him.
He will.
I spent.
I proved that.
Let me tell you this.
especially for breakfast.
Yeah. I spent a whole basically 24 hours with Brayley.
Oh.
Interesting as
He thought
shit.
that was pretty funny.
Hey, it is in my top 10 days.
Yeah,
ever.
okay.
Yeah, it's up
All
there.
right.
It's the funniest shit that I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
Nice.
Is Brayley for 24 hours.
It was better than the day we got married, I'm sure.
Well, it's up there with it.
He said top 10.
Top 10. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
ranked it.
What's your
Yeah,
third?
Third best day I've ever had. Can't
Yeah.
talk about it on the air, but
Oh.
goddamn, it was awesome. Hey,
Let's say it rhymes with shalumbaya.
awesome. And damn. My number 2 day has Trish in it. I can't talk about it on there either. And number 1 day also has Trish
Oh
on it.
yeah.
Can't talk about that shit either.
Didn't they ban that position in like 14 states?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe.
The Catholic Church is against it. You know what I mean? That's how bad that day was. Like insane. But last week we were at the state meetings, and well, Trish, a lot of people were at the state meetings. We were teaching and competing, and lots of
We were at
interesting.
some of the state meetings.
Yeah, lots of
I went to
interesting.
a few.
Yeah, lots of shit came out of these meetings.
I learned
There's,
a lot.
man, there's
You know what I didn't realize?
What's that?
That it is an issue with medics strapping kids to stretchers.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. It's like a
big deal.
whole movement thing.
Like
Big deal.
I
Yeah.
don't think I have seen a kid come into the ER that has not been strapped.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're gonna get to that one here in a second. That's a good one, baby.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I'm
Because
just like, it just doesn't happen here.
And I know
It
you were in that
used
one
to.
meeting. They brought it up
It
in
used to.
every single meeting that I was in, and for both days, it was part of every single meeting.
Hey,
Carlos was actually talking about
I
it.
brought it
up, and he
So-
said
yeah.
he was basically saying he had to write people up every
So
time.
you missed that whole part of APAs prior to you getting there, man. Because
Yeah.
basically we used to have to write the guys up. Like we used to have to write it and send it to the chiefs, and then we at one point we couldn't let them leave till their chief came and got them.
Oh,
So they were like hostage till the chief would come and get the guys, and it was usually Orange County or Orlando guys because.
that's basically who dropped-
That's who drops people
Yeah.
out there, and but we did have some people from Jason's neck of the woods allegedly that chief was pissed off
Oh yeah.
when he got there.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. It was a big deal because
I didn't know that happened.
yeah, but we had two really you take Arnold Palmer into just being one of the pediatric receiving hospitals
Right.
in the state. They had a lot. They had two poor outcomes from stuff that happened from
Yeah.
the kids not being strapped.
Yeah.
So, they took it really serious, which is why by the time you got there, you really don't see it, but that's one hospital in the state.
But even when I was at Advent, they always strapped kids.
It's Orange County.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You do that in Orange County right now.
Like every single ambulance had at least one PD mate, maybe two.
You're supposed to. It's state law. Right.
But I guess some places don't have those.
Yeah, a lot of people don't follow what they're supposed to do, and you got to take into account the fact that the state inspections have been on the honor system
Oh,
since like
COVID.
COVID.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So-
But I think it was happening before COVID.
Yeah, and you know, this is a great segue into our topic today, which is the paramedic shortage,
Yeah.
the justification of deviant behaviors that has been happening.
Speaking of deviant behaviors,
I love those.
I love nurses.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
No, you
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
Oh, yes, I do.
No, you
Lord.
don't.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
No,
and let me tell you why.
you're retarded.
Let me tell you what, Patricia. I wrote a paper on this.
And I'm doing the research on it.
I wrote a paper on this.
Don't do it.
And I speak from being a nurse. Now, mind you, so I'm a nurse, I can say this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Oldest profession.
Prostitution.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it goes the same thing.
Oldest
Nurses,
profession.
prostitution, same thing.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. It's
I know.
serious.
No, I get it.
So that's
Most
where.
of the nurses that I know,
So I wrote this paper and it starts off like talking about the oldest profession and prostitution.
Yeah.
Right. And how it goes into the history.
Number 2, keymaker.
Yeah. The history of nursing. And I had to write a paper and then I had to present it. Right. So I present this paper and there's a room full of people that are nurses. Right. And I ask every single nurse in there to tell me where the history of the Florence Nightingale lamp comes from.
Okay.
Right. I've asked many of nurses years after this paper. After I got a B, by the way, on the best written fucking paper ever. And and this is the thing. Like Florence Nightingale is a privileged, grew up a privileged girl, you know, and she, as the Crimean War breaks out, people are dying from infection. Long story short, she feels that she nursed her dad from being sick, and she goes, you know, if we can go out there and make sure that these people have dressing changes and that make the environment the best possible. Right, then like people are going to live. They're not going to die from these opportunistic infections, right? So see, this is the time period where the church used to take care of the sick. Long story short, now the church doesn't do that. So the infirmaries were in prisons. And this is the first time women were given the task of taking care of the sick.
Okay.
Who are the women in the prison?
Prostitutes.
Check. The war breaks out. They let the whores out of jail, and they say, "Hey, you guys are going out to do the infirmary at the battlefield." During the day, they were doing their job. But see, there's no fighting at nighttime back in the day. So what happens at nighttime? Soldiers come back.
Yeah.
They go back to whoring. And
It's a long day.
yeah,
They were probably pulling like 20-hour shifts.
Oh yeah. So this is where Florence Nightingale comes in. She comes in.
Giggity.
She goes, "Hey, we need to get the dressings changed. We need to make the beds no wrinkles on the bed because that causes infections, causes broken down tissue."
Oh,
And then
Skin breakdown.
yeah. That's why we got to make. That's why we got to make the beds tight. See, I'm a
Tight.
fucking scholar.
Everybody
of the
likes
shit.
tight.
So, but then she's noticing they're doing all this shit during the day. Morning time comes around, stuff's fucked up. So what does she do? Turns on the fucking lamp, and then starts walking around at nighttime and going, "Hey,
Stop that.
stop sucking dick. Go take care of your patient."
Would you like to know what Urban Dictionary says about a nurse?
What does it say?
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, I love nurses.
Yeah. So
I'm married to one.
Well, I'm not marrying one. I'm just
Yeah,
enjoying the Facebook dating
don't
world.
do that. Yeah, absolutely. But
The
they're fun.
hottest, sexiest, most desirable of all possible fantasies involving women. There is nothing more kinky than the thought of a stunning girl in a short nurse's uniform coming in to check up on you every 15 minutes and performing your every whim. Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you, baby. I'm gonna get some
You
nursing
too.
shit done later.
Yeah, you will.
Same.
Trevor Hicks says he can't with you, Carlos.
Oh, I love Trevor. Trevor's a nurse too.
Can't-
Trevor's a
Oh, is
nurse. Oh, he knows what I'm talking about.
That's why he can't.
Yeah.
He knows it's true.
you know, so
I think after your story, I like nurses even more.
oh man, it's a true story.
Braley.
Shit.
Tell them about nurses.
Oh, don't get Brady on this. Like we got important shit to talk about.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But you know,
Is there a shortage in nurses or
there's always
There
been.
is.
plenty? Yeah.
Susan Montag created that lie. Yes, there has been.
There is a shortage.
Yes, there is, baby. I know. Which is leading to this.
Why did you make it sound like that's a lie?
No, it's not a lie. What I'm saying is a perceived lie.
Did you say line?
Lie.
You did say lie.
Yes.
Like
It's a perceived lie.
horizontal line.
No, like Patricio telling some nurse that he's a professor of medicine.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The type of lie.
I can
I believe
only
it.
imagine what
Yeah.
he's telling them.
Oh yeah. So
No.
You have your doctorate.
No.
I feel like a really good joke would start with Patricio and Brayley walked into a bar.
that is true. So
I don't even know what would happen.
You messed up right there because it would be walking, be stumbling into a bar because we
Yeah.
just came in from another bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
With Brayley, that would be 2 drinks, and then he'd be stumbling.
He's already had 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's already done.
Hurry up and eat
Yeah.
you over here.
So last week you go into these meetings. Biggest topic is we don't have enough paramedics to go on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and many theories out there where that comes from.
Yeah.
But right in the middle of these meetings, the biggest fucking news ever comes out that the National Registry of EMTs put out basically a letter saying that the accreditation that they've been beating everybody over and telling people they can't take their fucking paramedic, National Registry exam if they didn't go to a school that has this accreditation, shutting down schools that didn't make the 2022
2022.
accreditation thing,
I'm so sad he wasn't in the meeting.
and they shut it down, right? They go, hey, you don't need to have that anymore. That's a big deal, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal. I mean, a bunch of different.
You want to
ways.
start a
like,
medical school?
It's a big
I
deal
really
in the
don't.
sense.
I don't have time to do anything.
Why are
barely.
you lowering a standard?
Well,
Because you have to lower standards for everything right
But
now.
you're not lowering. You're not really lowering a standard.
You are.
Because there's a state.
You are.
There's a state requirement that has to be met. There's the state test.
But the problem is
It's a
that the people
national
were
registry
able
exam.
to
National
pass
registry.
the state test, but not able to pass the national registry
And that's-
test because it's more difficult and covers
and that's
a
necess-
broader range. So now you're lowering the standard.
so what Amanda's alluding to is that the state medical director, prior to like this big announcement, came in and was basically saying that we rank the lowest of all states in the National Registry
We're
exam.
very low, yeah.
I mean, I feel like the accrediting body people should not have specified pass rates. Like you shouldn't have to
Hey.
pass a certain amount of, it's just my opinion.
Yes, baby.
You shouldn't have to pass a certain amount of people to continue to be accredited. Like you should be able to pass the amount of people that did the work and that met the bar to pass.
So what Trish is alluding to is that one of the standards to be COAMs accredited, which is these are the people that accredit the paramedic portion of these EMS schools,
But there are a lot of other accrediting agencies that
But
do the same thing.
not for paramedicine. This is the only
Right.
one that does it for paramedic
But-
initial education.
Yes.
Yes, there's a lot of other accrediting bodies out there.
And they do the same thing.
Yes, but they don't do it for paramedicine.
Yep.
But what we're saying here is part of accreditation is something called retention. So that means that if 100 students show up at your school, you should, in theory, graduate these 100 students. Not,
No.
that's what the accreditation relies to, right?
And I
So
think
that
they're
means-
wrong.
Yes, absolutely. They're absolutely
They
right.
are.
I can see where they're coming from though. They want
No.
to make they're
No.
basing
No.
their numbers
Okay.
off
All right,
of
Jason, get the shit out.
they're basing their numbers off of the instructors, not actually off of the students. And they're not evaluating the instructors based on their abilities.
So-
They're basing it on whatever Joe Schmo shows up.
Basically, like the way I explained to somebody yesterday, I went to culinary school. When I went to culinary school, I wanted an internship at a hibachi place.
Ooh.
I wanted to learn how to do hibachi as part of my internship.
Yeah. Yeah, that you
The
choose.
2 Asian people in our class got the hibachi internships. Everybody else went to work on a regular fucking kitchen because you weren't Asian. You can't do hibachi, right?
Right.
So you imagine if everybody was a hibachi chef, there'd be
Who did we
nobody.
see?
There would be nobody. I'm getting to it. There would be nobody to run fucking calls, right?
Right.
You see where I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So there can't be that many paramedics out there.
Right.
Does that make sense? That was
Yes.
always my theory when I ran a paramedic program.
Right.
My theory was when I ran a paramedic program is that not everybody that shows up on day one is here at the end.
Mhm.
You got to earn to be there at the end. I'm not out here to fail you. And I didn't have a set standard that I was going to fail. But Jason Marquez can tell you himself. He is 4 out of 25.
Ooh.
That was the finishing on that. Like we had a picnic for their graduation party. No, really, we did. Like we went to a park and we had a picnic because there was only 4 of these motherfuckers.
Wow.
And like they earned it. Like they earned the pass on that. Like, and I wasn't
As you should have to.
Yeah.
You run on life and death situations every single fucking day.
You have to know it.
You have to know it.
I agree 100%.
You can't just kind of sort of maybe, I'm not quite sure. No, you have to fucking know it.
That's why I feel like it's lowering the standard.
Well,
Because now you're allowing for those people to pass that are not retaining.
I think to explain it, I think Trish agrees with the fact that the standard was lowered, right? Because now what Trish is saying is now that we don't have to be accredited by this body, we don't have to keep the 100
So
students.
I think if you don't have to be accredited, I think that kind of raises the bar a little bit because
Absolutely.
you can run your school the way it should be run and not run it the way the accreditation people think.
Yes.
I mean, I may dislike quite a few accreditation bodies.
Yes.
Because I think that they don't necessarily do the job that they were set out to do.
The reality is that at some point, and again, we're at the Johnny's filling station for the background noise people here. When these people started doing the accreditations, we weren't able to fail people out of paramedic school. We would roll them back, right? And you roll them back, and you roll them back, and eventually there's 5-time rollback gets through.
Really?
Yeah. And then this person graduates, right? And now they're not passing the state test or the national register test, not passing the national register test, not passing the national register test. And back in the day, there was a 64J, which is the standard, the law here in Florida. How many times can you take the test?
3.
It's actually 4.
Okay.
You could take it.
It's
it was
like way more now, isn't it?
Oh, now
10.
you can. Now you
It's
can.
pretty crazy.
You can fail it the 4 times. You go do a class, and then you can take it another 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
and
close.
then at that time,
That's 2 off.
you go back to medic school,
Right.
right? So,
But do you take all of medic school or just like the last semester?
no, you go to medic school.
Yeah.
You go back to medic school. But the reality is that by that point in time, should this person be a paramedic?
No.
No.
Really? Right over here. Come on.
Yeah, I told him to come over and he's done.
So, like, this is the thing, Jason, Amanda, Trish, Patricio.
Yes.
Like, what we do as a paramedic is essential fucking work,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
I mean, not if you want to die quick.
Well,
More shots.
Well, I want to jump in on this conversation because as an outsider, really not. Last time I went to the hospital was to pick up somebody from the hospital. Do you feel that the pandemic contributed to the shortage of nurses?
Well, we're not talking about nurses.
I mean,
we're talking about
a lot of them died.
We're talking about the people bringing the patients.
It's true.
Yeah, let's not change the shit. The people that bring people to the hospital, right? They're not getting to they're not there.
Right. Correct.
I mean, Amanda's got some news she was telling me about earlier before we started. Like, we got people, they can't even get the right trucks to get to the hospital right now.
Yes.
What we got going on with that?
We had some interesting at the happiest place on earth.
Mhm.
Their Reedy Creek Fire Department, there was a news article from their union president yesterday, says on a normal day we have four fire engines and 8 ambulances running all of the calls that serve Disney property. Right now we only have 2 fire engines actually in service and 1 tower truck.
Oh my
And then we
goodness.
have another crew that is running out of a heavy rescue, which does not have firefighting equipment on it. And they are transporting people in SUVs because their ambulances are breaking down.
Well, I don't think they're transporting in SUVs. They can't transport. They're responding to calls.
Responding to the
Instead
They're
call.
moving
and
all
then-
their stuff into them, is what
Yeah.
it says.
Yeah, they're responding to the call, and then they're calling for another unit.
Right.
I mean, that's insane.
But
That's
think
insanity.
about your time for these people. Like one of the examples they brought is, in fact, one cardiac arrest call, the vehicle broke down, so they had to send another vehicle. So now you have to
Could
wait
you
for
imagine?
somebody further away. Another one, they had one of their own firefighters injured on a call, broke down, taking him to the hospital.
That's amazing.
Like I I think I would lose my shit.
Now this is what was this posted on?
This
You know
was
what's worse? That's my station, 35,
Yeah.
and we don't know where Disney property and maps. We don't have anything there.
So
So we have
Braley-
to respond to somewhere where we don't even know it's at.
So Braley's saying that basically, like that's the area that he responded to, but he doesn't know where the area is because that's not their area.
Yeah, Disney.
You know,
They don't have the
it's
maps for that.
just- Yeah,
No.
that's insane. So that was like on what, like on Facebook or something.
it was a Wesh 2 article.
Oh no
It
shit.
was like he went to the news because
wow.
they are trying to get the attention of their administration and say, "Hey, this is a problem."
Yeah.
And it's like
It's fine.
they're
It's
in one
fine.
of the
Nothing
in
bad
one-
happens at Disney ever.
right in one of the parts. It talks about how the biggest problem is that their fleet is just not being maintained, and it's a
Why?
This is like a
I
place that
probably
brings
don't have
millions
people
of
Like they
dollars.
that-
used to be incredibly well funded.
I'm sure they still are.
So they should
But
have
you just got his hand raised.
Yeah,
What you gonna say?
so I worked at Disney for a couple of years, and I didn't know up until once I started working there that Disney had their own first respond unit. They had their own shit. Now, as for you guys, is it an inconvenience for them to have their own, or
No.
like
Nah, they
Oh,
should have
it's
their own.
helpful.
They
It
should
is
have their
helpful.
own.
it's a benefit to you guys, or helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of good guys work at Disney. Like
Yeah.
I know a lot
Disney's
of good guys.
big.
Top,
it is big.
Yeah.
They got some top notch
That's what
dudes.
she said.
They got some top notch dudes that work there. And I think this is where this union guy is going at. Like the amount of funding that this place has.
Yeah.
And
I
they
mean-
can't get their
Trucks
fire trucks
fixed.
fixed.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking
Come
about
on.
a place that brings in
Like Disney has their own
millions.
mechanics.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to understand that the fireworks show in front of the castle, at a minimum, costs I think $25,000 to $30,000 a night.
Yeah. What's the price of a life, man?
Fair and valid.
Not enough.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about 2 fireworks shows. Like the price of a life is what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
like in the price of a firefighter's life. We have a firefighter that didn't get to the hospital on time.
Right.
I mean,
Now it's it's one
No,
of
they
your
kept
own
me.
too.
They kept me in my Goofy costume when I had my seizure.
yeah, well, that's not good.
What?
I had a seizure in a Goofy costume one time.
No
I could
shit.
totally see you being.
It's
I can totally
There's-
see that happening as well. They didn't cut that shit off.
No, they to keep the magic going, they put me on the stretcher with my mask on, with my full body costume.
Oh yeah.
And at one point, because I'd passed out and I fell on top of the family, and I kept going in and out because I'm
There's so
epileptic.
much in this. It's awesome. Could this be a clue for the ALS BLS competition? Could this be a clue?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh
Stay
my
tuned.
God.
It is.
Yeah.
It is Orlando.
I've told the story multiple times, but I'll tell it real quick. I suffer from epilepsy,
Yep.
and that morning I was having my petty miles, and the day of I was doing a meet and greet over at Epcot, and next thing you know, my hand starts shaking, and I pass out and I fall over a Brazilian family.
Oh shit.
It had to be Brazilian, didn't it?
Braley loves Brazilians.
Oh
He
man.
I
does.
start going. I start going in and out, and those who suffer from epilepsy or have had seizures before, it's like you're zoning in and out, and like it's like gaps. And at one point, I remember looking through my mask because mind you, Goofy's eyes are up here, but my eyes are down through his mouth. So I'm looking up, and I see Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, and Daisy like shaking me, and then
Oh shit.
But you were already shaking.
and they put me on the stretcher. Mind you, they haven't taken anything off. I wake up in the ambulance, and now it's like that feeling in Call of Duty where the frag grenade goes off. It's like, "Ooh." And I'm looking, and I see my Goofy hands, and I look down, and I see my Goofy shoes.
This is like a rap.
And
Yeah, this is a rap. It's a rap country song you got going on right there.
I tell the
And you're the dog that dies in the shit. You know what I mean?
I'm telling the paramedic, I'm like, what happened? He's like, don't worry, you just had a seizure. We're
Hey.
taking you to Celebration Hospital right now.
I'm
Just-
sorry.
And you
Every-
pissed the goofy costume.
No, I didn't piss myself. I shit
Oh.
myself.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Legitimately.
Yeah, so as I was like laying there on the stretcher, I start moving around. And mind you, Goofy wears a pad underneath to give him that belly look and that big booty look.
Oh yeah.
So
Ew.
I'm just like,
So
I'm,
you're just
I'm
swishing
moving
around and
and
poo.
I'm just marinating right now. finally,
Sticky hot Mexican poo.
finally get to Celebration Hospital, And I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, no, sir, you just had a seizure. We got to do some blood work. And still with my goofy glove, I'm like, no, I am going to the bathroom right now. I have shit myself. So mind you, there's a guy dressed in full out goofy costume without the head walking
Without the
slowly to the bathroom.
With
Shit in
poo,
his pants.
with poo in his
Yeah.
pants. Like, how spread out was the poo in that costume? It was in there, right?
It was disgusting.
Did
when
they give you a bag to collect it?
that costume got burned afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm
but
sure.
like, you know, when you collect the dog shit, you gotta-
No, I didn't have anything to change into. So basically, I had to take.
You had a hospital gown.
I took
Yeah.
off the padding, and I was in the hospital gown. But then
Mhm.
leaving the hospital, I wasn't going to leave in a hospital gown. So I basically got back into the goofy costume
No.
without the pad, and waited for
Wow.
Disney people to come pick me up.
So you wore a shitty dog suit before.
I mean, at least it was his own shit.
And at least it wasn't sucking dick in a
Bus station.
Bus station.
You won.
He did win.
Sir, you won. Yes, sir.
I think
You know,
we got these.
yeah, a drink to that
Should
right
we
there.
stop doing these?
No, not with that attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the thing. The state of Florida medical director said what, Amanda, at your meeting?
Which part? I'm sorry. Jim.
He was like basically,
Figure out
Does
how to get
anybody-
your students to pass.
yeah, figure out how to.
Why,
fucking-
do
So
you
our
think that was
current-
the main reason that they
No, I
stopped?
don't think that has anything to do with the other.
Okay.
Because this was very personal to him.
Yeah.
Um,
So you got to understand that in the last 3 years, we've switched from having the state of Florida paramedic exam to the National Registry exam.
mhm.
So before we were only compared to nobody because we had our own tests, right?
Mhm.
Now you're comparing Florida to everybody,
Everybody.
right? Like, so we're one of the lowest ranking pass rates in the state.
57%
Yes, of people.
is
Yeah,
our pass rate.
Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but is every state are associated in National Registry, or does some states still have
some
their
states
own?
still have their own,
Okay.
but like basically every National Registry state, we're ranking in the lowest portions of it.
Gotcha.
Now, there is some schools here in the state that do have great pass rates. And the one thing I always say, somebody says, hey, what do you think? FRTG has one of the highest pass rates in the state. If not, he's like, when you look at these numbers, in the top two all the time.
Right.
That's awesome.
In the top two all the time.
Out of its
At the state of Florida.
Yeah.
There's a lot of schools that teach it.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and is
I mean, that's because he teaches
what he teaches the job and what you
not specific protocols.
exactly.
And a lot of schools
Exactly.
have medic instructors that like to throw in their own protocols or
They
So
teach
that
us
was a
the
big.
real life
Events.
Yeah.
events. Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
big part of the controversy. I feel like it almost was in this specific meeting. Was there were people that have rural fire departments,
Yes.
and there's
Rural.
Rural king.
There is such a
Rural.
shortage of staffing everywhere for everything that they are not teaching their students that are coming directly to them. They're not being taught to pass the test. They're being taught
their
how to
protocols.
get on that truck and
Mhm.
work the second they get out of school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not
So
the
those
job.
schools are teaching local protocols versus national standards.
Yes.
You can't do that.
And you know something, what's interesting is that what we fought so hard to have is we've gotten so far away from it. You know, like 1966, Deterioration and Decay of Modern Society, the white paper, which created paramedicine, right? Basically, is we've gone away from this national standard DOT curriculum that you're supposed to have because you're teaching your own shit that you're supposed to teach.
Right.
That is the difference that I say with like Jason. Like Jason gets upset when you got an instructor in there talking about some story about what happened to him at work. You don't give a fuck about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
where is we're doing cardiac today, page 12. Let's
Right.
do that
Yeah.
because that's what we're doing. You got to teach the basics, and then the fire department that they go to will finish them off. That's the job, right? You got to teach them how to pass, not just the exam, the basics of the job.
Right.
The fire department or EMS agency they go to will they become an apprentice there. They will be a precepted.
Yeah.
And then you can teach them,
You get 3 days.
the local shit that you're supposed to learn. No, you don't get 3
I'm
days.
just
And, I'm
kidding.
just saying, I mean, But when you say it that way, people believe that that's the real thing.
It's a
You
joke,
get 10 at Orange County.
I believe everything that comes out of Trish's mouth.
Allegedly.
as you should.
Yeah,
This is on the internet.
yeah. But
Yes,
what
I
I'm,
read it.
but what I'm saying is that like people fucking don't know how to assess patients. They don't know the basics of it. They ask all these dumbass fucking questions. I got some motherfucker looking for Brugada on a fucking EKG, and I'm like, no,
Right.
fuck no,
Right.
like that's not realistic. You know, a medic student asked me about Scarbosa the other day. No, fuck no. You don't know how to treat bradycardia. We just talked about that shit, and you want to know about Scarbosa? Go fuck yourself.
I mean, I could give you a handful of those people. Well, way more than a handful.
Yeah.
That are like,
You got a
oh,
pretty big hand.
well, it's not.
Yes,
You're right.
yes.
Well,
See,
I've
that's-
already realized that it's not this, 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 and this. Like, I don't even know the words that you just said.
no.
But of course, it's not that.
Yeah, we had allegedly a medic that would work and pick up the phone and be the radio guy, and like he would tell you about the EKG, but then take the sickest fucking patient and put him in triage. Yeah, you can go triage. The guy's got an EKG. Look at this thing. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
You know, I'm like, man, it's amazing to me, and it's like the coolest shit is hearing Amanda sit through the meeting and go, I don't know if this is important, but this is what this man said. And then you go, because Amanda, you know, she's listening to it basically as close to a civilian as you could be, right? I
Right.
mean, and she go, hey, this man said this shit. I'm like, yeah, that man should have said this.
All I know is he was not happy about it. He was very passionate, and he said, I don't care what you people have to do, but you better fix it.
Yeah.
All right. So, devil's advocate,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
We're talking about a paramedic shortage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the way that it's going now, which is basically you guys are saying is pushing more people out in the field, and we have a shortage.
hmm
How are you going to make sure that shortage that we currently have
Doesn't get worse.
is going to be
So, well, I think the National Registry basically getting rid of the COAMs. So basically what they said is you can be COAMs accredited, but you can also have a institutional accreditation or be state approved to be able to run a paramedic program, right? So it puts a lot of people that don't have that basically they're private schools. Is really cool. It addresses the private school that has like that doesn't have the college accreditation, right?
right.
So the storefront person that teaches paramedic,
Right.
like they can be open if the Department of Education in the state of Florida approves them. They can teach paramedic school. I think where Trish stands is now if we don't have to meet that accreditation thing, we can fail the fuck out of some people and graduate the 4 that really need to and are going to pass the exam. They know how to do the be a paramedic.
Quality over quantity.
Yes. So they got rid of it because to help the shortage out, more schools instead of limiting the schools. Does that make sense?
Right.
So in theory, we're pumping out a lot of paramedics, graduates. We're not pumping out people that can pass the exam.
Actual paramedic.
Now, here's a number that I looked
We
up
also
today.
aren't pumping out people that can actually treat a patient.
Right.
So this is the shit. This is the thing because this is the current standards. And I'm not going to mention where these areas are happening at, but let's just say let's take a county for example. Let's call it Tangerine County,
Okay.
right? And in Tangerine County,
what
you have
color is
people you have people that pass school. You have people that pass the exam. You with me? And they barely make it through passing their apprenticeship program, right? And they're now cut loose to be out there.
Scary.
There is departments taking away endotracheal tube intubation
Yeah.
from their paramedics.
Right.
Why?
Because they're
Can't do
worried
it.
about
Because they can't get it, right?
Yeah, they can't perform. Yeah.
They can't perform.
Yeah.
They can't perform. That's
They
never good.
cannot. They cannot get the tube, right? So because they can't get the tube, they're telling you it's good enough to just do what? Bag the patient, get chest rise and buckle. There's too many complications with moving past anything as simple as just putting an OPA in somebody's mouth.
Right.
Does that make sense to you at all?
No.
Well, no,
But
but
on a paramedic level.
that's
Not at any level. You don't have to say that.
Like, does that make sense? Jason, if I have an appropriate, let me tell you something stupid.
There's a lot, but there's a lot of places that are like that that won't give you the right tools
Do you
to
think?
perform.
Do you think?
Lots of places don't do that.
Listen, man, like in the state of Florida, you have to go through a plumbing school, right? Which is a few semesters of school. And then you have to spend thousands of hours working as an apprentice before you can become a licensed plumber in the state of Florida.
And you deal with shit every day.
You can't work. You can't work on toilets.
Yeah.
Plumbing without spending thousands of hours of working somewhere. Then we turn some asshole out of school with a few hundred hours of maybe seeing some patients.
Right.
And by the way, 50% of your clinicals can be simulated in school now.
Oh.
You can do a
is
simulated
such
clinical.
bullshit.
You don't have to
Such
go.
bullshit.
You don't have to go ride places.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
That
Right?
makes me nuts.
And like now you're telling me that you can't like tube somebody. You can't do your basics of your job, ABCs. You can't get fucking past A because you're too fucking stupid to do that.
You know what I think?
Fuck that.
I think they should go back to like the Montessori way of doing it. Like you see one, do one, teach one.
Yep.
Like they need to go back to having the medic students ride with a medic fucking 75% of the time that they are in class. They need to do that for nurses, and they need to do that for medics, for EMTs, for fucking everybody, because you learn more when you're doing the job than you are sitting in a classroom.
You know,
Just my opinion.
This type of thing kind of started happening right as I get out of medic school, and the requirements for getting in the medic class. You used to have to interview to get in medic class. They got rid of that right after my class, and then they started having more than one class. They had a day class, a night class, and they started pumping out shit, like pumping out these dudes exactly what they were pumping out shit. Right.
I mean, they're doing the same for nurses.
Yeah. And then the vast majority of the people were mediocre that come out, right?
Yeah.
You got to understand,
Maybe.
I spent 20 fucking years at the City of Orlando Fire Department, the Orange County EMS system, basically being persecuted all the time for doing the job that I'm supposed to do because I seemed different than everybody else.
Right.
Because I wasn't mediocre.
Right.
And I'm not patting myself on the back. All I'm saying is this, is that I was doing the job that I was supposed to do. And because I intubated somebody, I gave meds when you're supposed to. It seemed weird, and I seemed overly aggressive. And that's a problem.
So it sounds where everything's going on, like the first responders and paramedics are getting the short end of the stick at this point.
Yep.
But not the short end of the stick on my part. I have to head out right now. And here's the one thing, guys. If at any point on a Thursday night, 9:00, you got nothing to do, over at College Park, Thornton Park. No. College Park Graffiti Junction. College Park Graffiti Junction.
Yes.
I host adult bingo at
Radio
9
voice
o'clock.
of the year.
And
We should go do that after.
we give away great prizes, adult toys, adult themed toys, I should say. And also we give discounts to teachers and first responders.
That's
All
awesome.
right.
So that's our way of helping back out with the community for everything that you guys have done. But once again, Carlos, thank you so much for having
Hey,
me on.
man.
I love
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah,
Yes,
coming
thanks
out,
for
and we
being
will
here.
see each other on the 15th, and then
14th. 14th and 15th.
14th and 15th,
Yes.
and still waiting on a helicopter ride.
Yeah, well, that
Me
may be
too.
the day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk
All
about
right,
that.
beautiful.
Yes.
Well, I love you guys, and I will see
Hey.
y'all later.
Hey,
Love
I'm
you
gonna
too.
tell you this for real though. If you make that shit happen like I told you to, I'm gonna take you on a helicopter ride.
I can make it happen.
Yes.
It's going to take me 3 Facebook posts, and I can make that happen.
Hey, you go ahead. I hope that ain't like the guy that was gonna drink the gallon of milk either.
Yeah.
Rematch in 3 weeks.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Put it on the books, man.
I'll bring two.
Yes.
Bring two,
Hey.
man. So we have Melissa Barto McNally.
Oh yeah, Raleigh McNally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have the ladies. Will you read her comments here?
Fix this by putting AEMT in statute and fill your engines with AEMTs and EMTs. Then medics for your boxes. Get all the skills you want out of AEMT. Devil's advocate, not on board for coamps all the way, but there should be some standard. A new exam is around the corner from NREMT, and if we lower the bar for schools, we won't get a better pass rate.
I don't think we should lower the bar for schools. I think we should raise
and
it.
you know what? Basically,
If you raise it, that's how you're going to get your better pass rate.
Yes.
but what basically Melissa says, she brings up a great point. I said you don't need 5 paramedics on every scene.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need 5 paramedics. You need people that can do some of these advanced skills. So you put these advanced level EMTs, and this is it's been a problem of Northeast for a long time. I mean, Melissa, Pennsylvania. So like she's speaking from experience. You're looking
Right.
for the birthplace of EMS, Pittsburgh, right? One of the birthplaces where the shit comes down. Nancy Carolyn,
Right.
the Center for Emergency Medicine, and they had problems with this before, but they didn't water down the system. They created a level where if you need an extra set of hands that can start an IV, that person can start an IV.
Right.
They don't know the background of the shit.
Yeah.
Right.
I met one lady that was a volunteer. I don't remember if she was an AEMT or an EMT, but she was a volunteer up north.
Go
And
grab
she
that
was-
microphone with her, brother.
She was telling me all sorts of shit that she was doing.
Yeah. So that's it.
That we
and
don't necessarily let Florida people do.
it's an excellent thing, and not just you got. I mean, it's just amazing to me. And you look at my current shop where I work at, we have a hard time finding these medics that can fill these slots.
Right. I don't know. The go ahead.
Well, it's the same thing. Orange County. When you say persecuted,
Allegedly, yes.
Tangerine. When
Yes.
you say persecuted, I'm probably one of the few people that push mag in asthma. They were just too scared.
Yeah, and something was in protocol, man.
You know, when there was an EJ at OMC, they go, it's Brayley or Carlos. And then they're like, you nicknamed it Bluetooth.
Oh yeah, you put
Yeah.
that. Put that.
Drop a,
Put that thing on
drop an
there.
EJ in.
I think you can make phone calls from that right there. The guy's making phone calls right now.
Yeah, just tap it.
Yeah. It is amazing to me. We got some wonderful people that ran this. That were the medical directors in this county. World changers. Dr. Salvatore Silvestri changed EMS around the world, and he's a doctor here in Orange County. The guy's amazing. Dr. Hunter was
He's great.
he's a great dude, man. You had some students of this guy, George Ross. You know what I mean? You got these students of these guys, and then the system is definitely changed because they have to cater to the lowest common denominator paramedic that comes out, the person that barely passed the class. You have to cater to that person. Why is that? Why do we have to bring down the standard?
Because we live in a society where mediocrity is acceptable now.
Why?
And it's just going to keep getting worse.
It is.
But what is your thought on because there are quite a few calls that are not necessarily emergency calls,
Yeah.
and having separate units that are able to respond or transport might help with that paramedic shortage, because then you would have a
This is-
BLS unit versus ALS. I know they do that up north, right?
Yeah. So that's the problem that I have with that, Jason. This is the thing. It's not the big call that you get in trouble for.
It's the small one.
It's the small call. It's the refusal. The person
Right.
you leave behind at the house because you don't do what you're supposed to do with it.
Right.
It's the paramedic that makes a person BLS when they really should be ALS, right?
Right.
So those are the problems there. But what you're saying is you need to send 2 units to every call. No, I don't agree with that.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that at some point there should be some understanding of, we figure out what the call is, and a BLS unit can go because it's going to be that type of a transport versus an ALS unit. Usually, for the most part, there's always an engine, so that's
Yeah.
ALS anyway.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have ALS on scene. However,
I think
feel like
you-
you'd have more trucks on the road, because the times that you don't have enough paramedics to staff.
You need the advanced EMT.
Yeah. Well,
You need
that
what
was-
you need
yeah.
what you need
Yeah.
what Raleigh McNally's talking about.
Yeah.
You need the advanced EMT.
Do
You need
they
it.
have any of those in Florida?
No, it's not
Right.
a level in Florida.
Exactly.
And it's a recognized national registry level.
What is an advanced EMT? What are they
So,
allowed to do that EMTs are
They're
not?
they're a little bit more skills than the regular EMT. They can put they can start IVs deeply into the supraglottic airways and stuff like that. They're not necessarily pushing meds to get airways, but
Right.
can give the epis and the stuff. A cardiac arrest call in New York City is a BLS response.
Yeah, I was talking to it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I used to
Yeah.
work with another dude named Carlos.
Yeah.
And he was the EMT up in New York, and he's like, we used to do this shit all day, every day.
Yeah. Yeah. You get they used to have all these like Z level, like Zebra 1014. Those are all
Yeah,
like
yeah,
pickup trucks that
Yeah.
would respond to the call
Right.
with the medic on it.
Yeah.
But the you got Jason Marquez, they're responding to BLS calls on the a code in a BLS ambulance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they're working the fuck out of that code. But you know what? That's a different fucking EMT. This
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
your dickhead that just gets through class.
Right.
They can't fucking do anything. They don't even know what OPQRC is. This is why you get one of those New York City EMTs, and we're talking late 80s, mid 90s, the green shirt, white pants dude, the transition to the FDNY EMT. You get those guys, those assholes kick ass.
Yeah.
Right.
They kick ass. Those are the best fucking paramedics I've ever had the privilege of teaching because they know the basics of the job.
Right.
What was the standard before going to medic school in late 90s? You know what it was?
No.
2 years as an EMT.
Oh, that was it?
You needed to have 2 years as an EMT, or you had to take I had to take a test to show that I knew my EMT shit to get into paramedic class.
Oh, wow.
That's not a thing anymore.
No, not at all.
That is not a thing
that's
anymore.
crazy.
You breathe and you got an EMT certificate.
Oh, yeah.
Check
Yeah.
this shit out.
Going right to paramedic.
You don't even need your you don't need your EMT state certificate to start paramedic school.
What?
You don't need it. The statute reads basically by the end of the first semester, you got to have it done. So basically, you could be
Thanks.
done with EMT school. You have
I
to
love
pass
you,
your
but
state
no.
test by the end of the first semester.
The end of so you're in medic school and EMT or finishing EMT. At the
You're
same
in
time.
medic school. You finished EMT. You're waiting to pass
Oh,
your
wow.
test.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It's insane.
Got some more comments here.
Yeah. What you got?
So Melissa has 4 more points.
Yes.
Number 1.
I mean, I feel like you should just call her Raleigh McNally.
Well, I don't know her, so I don't feel like I should call her
All
that. We don't teach our instructors to teach to the national standard curriculum.
Yes.
Number 2, we don't prepare these students to the art of taking an adaptive test, which that was mentioned in the meeting.
Yeah.
Is that they don't know how to take an adaptive test. Let's be real, there is a science. Number 3, we've created a culture that everybody fails the first time. And 4, we make a bunch of people take this class and test who don't want to do it and are being forced to for a
Oh,
promotion.
that is a very good point.
That is a great point.
That is a very good point, and it leads back to the whole shortage. Is okay, you get hired on somewhere, and you have to become a paramedic within 2 years,
Yeah.
3 years. Well, I never wanted to be a paramedic. I want to be a fireman. Well, sorry, you're not going to work here unless you're a paramedic.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
It's a shitty thing.
It is.
I thought there was more the other way around. I thought for some reason, I guess
Nobody wants to be firemen.
Yeah,
I have often
People are some
heard
good guys.
I have often heard of medics that get jobs at fire departments that have to go to fire school and then they don't pass fire school and
Oh no.
then they don't have
Well,
jobs.
that's
it
I mean, I'm
happens
sure
too.
it happens.
Really?
because
That leads to
because
the
there's
fact-
the lack of medics.
They are
so
all girls.
Bring
yeah, that leads to the thing where
I got pregnant.
Listen, I don't have a single problem with the single cert person that's
Yeah.
out there.
No.
Me neither.
I don't have a single problem with them, being the part of the EMS system. There is people
You
that
need
don't.
them too.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
Right.
don't. Not everybody has to be a firefighter,
no.
but not every firefighter has to be a paramedic.
Right.
Mhm.
But
And that-
so many agencies now are making them, especially like you said, if they want to advance in their career. And
not even. I'm not saying if they want to continue working at a department.
Yes.
You have
Yeah.
to sign a contract when you get
Says you're a
hired.
Say
paramedic.
you're
It
gonna
says
finish
you will-
whatever. Like
Yep.
if
that
you're
you'll
a
be
paramedic,
You will
Hey,
be a paramedic
I have-
within
yes.
a certain amount of
I
time.
witnessed.
or fire.
I recently witnessed that talk being given by a chief.
that's
And
crazy.
you know what?
Yeah.
I don't disagree how somebody needs to run their department. I don't want to, say anything bad about.
You don't want
that.
to pee in anybody's sandbox.
No, I just basically
Ew.
like
I will.
I don't know.
We know you.
I've met many of fire chiefs that believe that. I don't know where that's coming from.
It has to be dollars and cents. All
What's
of
the dollars and cents behind it?
Because
It's
all
not.
of the money that you've already
What?
invested
No.
into this person, you want to
But you don't
continue
need
to
it.
have them.
You can continue to
Well,
have it without
Amanda's got her
them
hand
being
raised.
double
Amanda raised her
certified.
hand.
What about the agencies that the fire chief?
You see that over there?
What?
What?
Bad. Yeah, big titties.
Oh no,
Sorry.
I missed that one.
And
Did you
when
see
I
the
was
back
sitting
of
over
it?
there,
Yeah, I don't know it's the big boobies.
I didn't see it.
Oh. Anyway, go ahead. Proceed.
back.
That's
Not
right.
impressed.
What about the
Proceed.
fire chiefs that are not paramedics and don't have to be? What about the battalion chiefs that are EMTs that are in charge of ALS stations that have paramedics? Why is that okay? But the new firefighter that's coming in has
Because they were
to be-
grandfathered in.
But why is that okay? If you're going to
Because you
change
can
the
grandfather
standard,
things.
change it for everybody.
No, it's
You know-
grandfather.
I've never agreed
Yeah.
with.
Well, every department is different.
Well, if you see
I know, but I'm saying
See,
there are
Amanda,
some
my grandpa
that
would not
have
agree.
that.
Amanda, I didn't even throw it out there, but I threw that fucking softball up there and somebody grabbed it. And this is the thing, Jason. Me and you don't think about it that way.
Right.
Amanda thinks like the fire chief does.
Yeah.
How can a non-paramedic supervise
Oh,
a paramedic?
you know that
That's
really
why.
pisses me off.
you
That
don't,
is why.
you don't need a paramedic to supervise a paramedic.
You
really.
can't
Don't.
tell me I did it wrong if
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna
know
tell
how
you-
to do my
I'm
job.
not going to tell you you did it wrong.
Yes, they do,
Well, they shouldn't.
but they do. That's their
Yeah.
job. is to
It shouldn't
discipline
be. It
or
shouldn't-
whatever, based
You
off
don't-
of a protocol.
You don't need managers to have the same certifications. Like managers are there to do things like, hey, did you show up on time? Did you
It's a
come
box
to
check.
all of your shifts?
The
Yes.
box got checked.
Did you
I checked the box.
like they can't
They make sure that
they
you put the
can't
cover sheet
do
on your
quality.
TPS report.
That is not their job.
Right, but so
Yeah.
many of them
But
are.
you,
How many-
you
how many-
can't
how many
because
But
they're
they do.
How many
but you
charge
can't
nurses
because
are not nurses?
that's different.
Why?
No,
They're all-
listen,
they're
listen,
managing-
listen.
But in
The
your
Charge nurse, I feel like is just a step closer to where the patients are than maybe a chief is. So like that would I would say that a
See?
director of an emergency department doesn't need to be a nurse.
So
Okay.
Jason,
Yeah.
in your argument,
Yep.
if this was a court of law,
Yeah.
in your argument,
Yes.
you are for everybody at the fire department being a paramedic.
I don't really care about that. I'm just saying with the defense is like if you are just a supervisor, then anybody can be a supervisor. But-
Not just
Well-
a supervisor, but like an administrator. So administrators, in my opinion, don't necessarily need to have the same accreditations. So like quality shouldn't necessarily be like
Profession driven. In a sense.
well,
Like you
It
don't
should-
like you can
quality shouldn't be as far as like administration goes.
You know what?
Do you know what I mean? Like, so if a charge nurse has to be able to step in and do the job for anybody in that department, just like
And
maybe
So
a
does the fire
lieutenant,
chief.
Battalion chief does it.
that I thought
no.
chiefs were like
No,
up
they have to
doing
wear-
other shit.
They have to wear both hats.
Well-
they have to wear the political hat that deals with the county commissioners and the.
So
the
are you
rules and
telling me
whatever.
that a fire chief is going to put on fire gear and go into a fire?
They
Some of
should
them do.
damn well be.
I
able
didn't
to.
say they
Stephen Davis
should. I
will.
said, do they?
Yeah, they have
We've-
it.
I mean,
Not Davis. He's
I've-
different.
I've seen some that have.
Davis will be
I've
the
seen
man.
some that have.
Davis
Well,
is the man.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like if generally many of my bosses in the past would call me in to talk to me about the way a patient happened or whatever, I'd be like, when was the last time you fucking took care of a patient?
Well, right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
should
Then
not
I don't
have
want
a
to fucking
boss
hear
So-
one.
that
fucking
doesn't
thing.
know how
And
to
Not
do
only
their
that,
job.
like I
In
have
your both in your current arguments, you guys are for everybody needs to sign the contract and you will be a paramedic within a certain period of time.
no.
Or you forfeit
I'm
your
not.
ability to progress through the fire department.
Well,
You see what I'm
Okay,
saying, right?
yeah.
But
I
it's
think
the
that
choice.
in the way of the fire
the-
world now, yes, that's how I feel. Because those battalion chiefs and those fire chiefs, they are not just in charge of firemen now.
They're in
They
charge
are
of
in
paramedics.
charge of paramedics who provide.
Yeah, but they're
I-
not
I- saving
supervising. They're not supervising like
The paramedic.
they're not supervising patient care right now.
But they
QA
can
is.
because they can call you in and say, "Here,
They
you
shouldn't.
fucked up this patient. You're fired."
Yeah, you don't fucking know.
Well,
Then
I've had that experience.
But that's
Yeah.
what
I
they
know
do.
you have.
Oh no, and I've had
So,
it
like,
too.
You can't because like the last time you actually touched a patient was 10 years ago. So you can go fuck yourself.
So you know one of the coolest rules. One of the things that it's the only protocol. And mind you, I've traveled. I teach a lot of different places. I've seen a lot of different protocols. You with me?
Yes.
One of the few places that did have this protocol was right here in Orange County. You had a thing in our protocol book that says, when it came down to patient care, the most senior medic is in charge of the care, regardless of rank.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the reality is
That makes sense.
I mean, if you're
Because I
still
told a captain to go
practicing,
fuck himself.
okay.
the most senior paramedic on a scene.
Do you
is
still touch patients?
the most senior paramedic on a scene?
Do they touch patients?
Yes. So I'm talking fucking me.
Okay.
Not having any rank ever.
Well, then that
Right.
doesn't matter.
That you are the top. Your
Absolutely.
decision is what carries. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think that's how it should be.
that's what I'm saying. It's
Like
one
if
of the
you
few
still
places-
touch patients, then you're the most senior person should have that
Let's talk
decision
about
making.
reality. Let's talk about reality, Jason.
I say
Reality is
something real
the most
quick?
senior person is the fire
And I-
chief.
and I
And
know-
they say no.
And hold on a second, Braley there. And I want to hear from, I'm talking to Jason right
All right.
Okay. And this is the thing. Jason, you're an EMT firefighter.
Okay.
And now the only way you move forward in your job, like become a lieutenant, a chief and stuff like that, right? The only way you make more money doing your job is to get promoted, right? But
Yes.
you're not able to get promoted because you have to be a paramedic to get to the next step.
Right.
So your motivation is not being good at the job, is
True.
to just get what?
Just get by. Just do
Get
do-
promoted.
get promoted. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
Oh, well,
I disagree with you have to be a paramedic to be a chief.
I agree.
I don't think you
Yeah.
need to do.
I don't think you
that.
should either.
I think that as long as that my decision making as a paramedic is regardless of rank, then you're protected.
you don't have the entire view of what's going on if you haven't been there and done it.
You're
and
protected anyways. And a lot of people don't understand that. You cannot be held. There's no punitive stuff found in QA.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Right,
And that's
and
not
So
my
then it
point.
doesn't matter.
And that's not the point. It's the more it's more of what's going on right now, the person in charge, and they should at least kind of know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had some
Doesn't matter.
EMT lieutenants that really knew what was going on. They were
Some.
spot-
Come on.
He has.
yeah.
Some. Not a lot. Have you had a
No,
lot?
not a lot.
I'll
No.
tell you-
Okay then.
I'll tell you one of the best EMT lieutenants I've ever worked with on the fire department, Lieutenant Rivenbark, became Chief Rivenbark. And the dude was extremely respectful when you went to a call, and he valued your choices as a paramedic. He protected you as a paramedic. As a matter of fact, to quote him, and I quote, "If you ever call my guy again with some shit like that, I'm gonna go and kick your ass."
Yeah.
And he hung up. He hung up on the asshole calling to fuck with me about it.
Right.
That's what my lieutenant did
Yeah.
back then. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And-
Yeah.
And like that is amazing because he didn't know half the stuff we were doing on the call, but he was doing it. Scott Doherty was an engineer on Engine 1. My partner, like he would get put on the rescue every time they promoted a new dude, right? A new dude would come in. He would have to drive the engine for 90 days. Scotty's driving Rescue 1 with me. He didn't have a clue half the shit we were doing.
Right.
But you know what? Respectful of the shit.
Right.
You know, I worked with a lot of great EMTs that became
Yes.
great lieutenants, that became great chiefs. So so maybe I'm jaded in the sense that I've seen the guy that could do that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But I've also seen the guy that became a paramedic to pad his pension.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't agree with that.
I don't
And
agree
if
with
it
that
were-
either.
If it worked really how you're saying, and in your case it did, that would be okay. But real life now, the people that are issuing you discipline or they're questioning your decisions,
They shouldn't question quality decisions. They should only question. They
If
should
I-
only be
and-
able to question.
That's a different. It's a complete different topic.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a
Can't
complete
question.
different topic what you're bringing up there, but you're right. Braley is a product of that. I'm a product of that. You know, and it's
We all
not
are.
a funny fucking thing. Like you don't understand the mental anguish that shit causes you.
Yes, I do.
You understand that like my life was like I love this job. Like I want to be a good fucking paramedic. And when you question like me delivering care at the best of my ability, when I know that I've done the right thing, and it's just odd for somebody to see the right thing,
Right.
and you want to give me punitive shit? Well, first of all, fuck you.
Yeah.
Second of all, the law protects me from that. And then the world that we live in now is a world where we call it what, a just culture, right?
Mhm.
Just culture says that you can't, even if I fucked up, you can't fucking write me up for that.
Right.
Because you know what? When I fuck up, I'm going to admit that I fucked up so we can find the root cause of this.
Right.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not sure Vanderbilt
hey,
did that.
hey, right now, what's your motivation? Your motivation is not to, go to jail.
Right.
So are you going to confess that you did the wrong thing?
Hell no.
No.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'm
I'm
still
gonna
going to try to do
go,
the
"Not
best thing for patients.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will always do the best thing for patients, but I'll keep my mouth shut.
Listen, the greatest thing is this movie that comes out in the 90s called Office Space. Where basically
That is an amazing movie.
talks about all this shit.
Can we jump to
The
conclusions later?
best thing in that movie is the quote when he says this. He goes, "My only true motivation is to not get in trouble."
Right.
And that is only going to motivate me enough to do the bare minimum
Yes.
to not get in trouble.
Yep.
And that is the world that we live in now.
Yeah.
We live
Can
in
I-
the world where people do the bare minimum, exactly what they have to do to not get in trouble. And I always tell the story about this guy that that retired a couple months after me. Nobody knew who this motherfucker was. This guy had 20 years of no mental anguish on the job. 20 years of no mental anguish. EMT firefighter on an engine that showed up to work on time all the time, did his education on time, always turned his bunker gear in for cleaning like he was supposed to. It was basically this guy that never got in trouble.
Yeah.
And every time they opened up a station, they should send them out east. Just send them out east. Just send them out east. And you know what? Nobody knew who this guy was. Our chief couldn't pick him out of a fucking lineup. And you know why this joke started? This joke started because this guy got out of work on an Orlando Fire Department t-shirt. A chief from the city of Orlando saw him at Starbucks and goes, "Where did you get that t-shirt from? Who are you?" And that person goes, "I work for the city of Orlando Fire Department." Had to show his ID to this guy who had no fucking clue who this guy was. You know something?
Crazy.
You know what the greatest thing about this shit is?
It was his dude.
This guy worked on this chief's shift.
Oh,
It was one of his people.
Oh.
He had no idea who this motherfucker was.
Wow.
Now that guy had a blessed fucking career because
Yeah. He
he's
was
nobody moves,
Talk
nobody
about
gets
under
hurt.
the radar.
quiet. Yeah. Yeah. No
Yeah.
radar.
Ray Dixon was my partner at the City of Orlando Fire Department. Was a fucking legend. Still works at Universal Studios allegedly as a fucking. He's the first paramedic hired by Universal Studios, by the way.
Oh.
And he still works there. Farkle, big red mustache, most handsome dude I've ever met in my entire life. And this is what he does. Like they make him write he's the first paramedic hired over there. They make him write a safety slogan, and basically his safety slogan: "If nobody moves, nobody gets hurt." Right? Man,
Nice.
the mediocre people that get out. We received an email today.
I saw that yesterday.
We received an email today that was talking about basically, I want all my mouth breathers to be told exactly how to do things so they can be successful at the most advanced fucking position that you can be in as a paramedic.
Right.
And I just want you to give them a blue ribbon for it.
What?
Everybody's
you.
a winner. Everybody's a winner.
Fuck you. You know something? There's no amount of money. And I'm going to say this here, recorded live on the Book of Faces. Okay? There is no.
And
Of you.
what? The
You
tubes
know-
of you.
Tubes of
You know
Yep.
why we don't teach primary education here at the Rescue Company One?
I don't.
Do you know why we don't teach EMT and paramedic school here at the Rescue Company One? Because I teach it how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And that means that if 10 people came in,
Only 2 pass.
0 may pass.
Right.
Because mediocrity is not.
No
acceptable.
fucking way will I put my stamp on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I just-
Absolutely no fucking way. Maybe that seems conceited. Maybe that
It
seems like
doesn't.
a whole bunch of shit.
No.
But you know what? If I turn out a product, those motherfuckers know how to do the job.
Exactly.
And it's your reputation. I would
And
never
it's all-
pass
yeah.
anybody that came to me. If they were just subpar, I'd just tell them and just send them away.
There's a
And
lot of
and
people.
I'm not
that's-
comparing.
That's proven. It's been proven recently because of all of the people that have gone through
All-
medical.
Everybody's
and-
working.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and not and
where
not
they
every-
go to school,
and not
Okay.
necessarily everybody that comes through. The people that dignify themselves when they come through,
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Not everybody gets a job.
yeah,
But, you know,
absolutely.
The people that put the
ones
work
that
in.
put the work in,
Yeah.
and read the texts and
Right.
do the practice tests and spend
I probably
8
can't
hours a
really
day.
share my experience yesterday, huh?
No.
Okay.
So you know, this is the thing, brother. Like I will tell you this, Jason and Amanda, Trish, Brayley. If somebody comes out, I'm gonna call my. Have I called my bosses recently and say, hey, this person's a good person? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, have people that come through class call me and ask, hey, can you give me a recommendation? And I've said no. Yes.
Right.
I've said no. No.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I appreciate you coming here, and if that, I don't.
I need
think,
you to work harder.
I don't think you're the person that needs a job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you know what? I want a fucking colleague. I'm training the person that's going to replace me.
Yes.
I'm training the next fucking person that's going to replace me. So the next person comes in, like I'm training you because I want you to like fire me from my job. I want you to Steve Jobs me out of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing, man. Like that's why we started this company. Like, and yeah, I gotta trust you.
Yeah.
If I don't trust you, I can't. Sorry, there ain't no amount of money you can get. I'll give you your money back. Seriously, I will give
Oh,
you your
I'm sure
money
you would.
back.
We're not doing that.
We're not gonna. We're not.
We're not doing that. You have every opportunity to prove yourself.
You're. Hey,
We're not giving you your money back.
we will not water this shit down.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna water.
You
this
just
shit
have to
down.
try harder. Put your big girl panties on and try harder.
Yeah.
It's 87 pages.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Hey.
So with all that being said, what's going on next week?
Oh, next week
We have an air medical class next
Medical
week.
class next week.
Yeah.
Hey, for
there's
people
Yeah.
still
that are
time.
yes.
What?
There's still time.
Oh, we got to pull the body out of the freezer.
We're gonna talk about that. Not on the air with people. Thank you, baby.
Just kidding.
I love you very much. You're so beautiful.
We have to go down on the trail and get a body.
You know, like
We
no,
do.
Brayley,
You gonna help us out?
you passed your FPC a couple weeks ago.
I did
Congratulations.
Yes.
On his
Yeah.
first try.
with my short
Whoop.
shorts.
Oh,
Yes.
You had to wear those for good luck, didn't you?
Yeah, I told Jason wear the short shorts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it.
You're breathing.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you a pair.
Jason-
My
Jesus.
girl had my
I'm gonna
shorts on. That
sneeze.
walked by.
I'm gonna sneeze and blow out.
Yeah. Jason.
Did you see the girl that had the shorts?
No, I
the
missed it.
Brayley shorts on?
Yeah. I said, hey, take those back home, and I'll meet you there.
Hey, you know, Brayley, but this is the thing. Did you get everything you needed to pass that test
Yeah.
from here? Yeah.
Where'd you get
wasn't-
it?
What it wasn't.
What it wasn't?
I had the IA Med like videos. They were fun,
Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly.
We don't want to mention any names.
But-
Go ahead.
but you go. All you need is these study guide, and I'm like, yeah. So all I did was throw the last part away. I just looked at those, and I'm like, I'm gonna study this, and either Carlos is gonna
Dobutamine.
eat it or I'm gonna eat it.
It's dobutamine, the answer.
Dobutamine was not on that fucking test. I studied dobutamine the entire time.
Yeah.
But you also put a lot of work in yourself.
He
And
did.
that's
Like you actually studied.
a lot.
Oh yeah, you got. I just, yeah. I mean, who doesn't? Like, I mean, here's
Lots
the
of people,
standard.
evidently.
If you
Lots of people think you don't need to study for this, any of these tests.
I mean, like the reality is yeah, like a lot of people think it's just I showed up, I'm gonna get this.
oh no,
No,
Fuck
not
that,
this
man.
one.
no.
Like, I mean, even when I've taken certification tests, like I studied for a while
Yeah.
after I took the class.
You know what I do with faculty?
Like I went
study.
through a whole fucking book.
I was studying today and I passed.
Yeah.
Good job.
But when I was reading a study guide, I was texting him, going, "Holy shit!" I go, "This is awesome. Did you? This is in here."
Yeah.
I was like, just telling him all the things.
By the
that
way,
say that.
those
He's like,
texts,
"Yes, I
those,
know."
Those texts would come in like at 3:00 in the morning,
Oh.
randomly.
Or
like,
9:00 in the morning.
yeah.
He did not
There
get
is a
the
strict
memo.
no text.
Speaking
From,
of,
like,
have you had any
Kyle.
more issues with Kyle?
No, he's been doing great. Kyle has performed.
job.
Yeah, he's improved.
Oh,
It
he
is
on
good.
has.
performance.
Oh, okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
they
good.
talked to Kyle today for a little bit.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad.
he's doing good.
I have a whole other topic of
Yes.
news that we saw that we just had to share with you because I feel like you're just gonna love it.
Whoa, let's
What?
go ahead. Yeah.
So Florida broke a record.
Oh,
Of what?
in heat.
Oh yes.
Yes.
What kind of heat?
Oh,
Not
dang.
heat.
Dang, gummit, I don't even think.
What was it?
Let me see if I can pull it up.
You haven't? No?
Can
Maybe?
you send it to me really quick?
Yeah.
Send it to
Well,
me.
but while we're looking for that,
Yeah.
I ate the hottest chip the other day.
Oh, I heard about this. I heard.
There's a public safety
Pocky-
announcement.
The Pocky Chip Challenge.
Oh, we have a comment
chip
from
champ.
Jay Marquez.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
I believe in holding students accountable and holding your staff accountable. However, it starts with the director, owner, etc. A lot of places are passing students to pass them because they met the minimum standard.
yeah, we know.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we were
That's why
talking
Jay's
about.
awesome.
Yeah. And by the way, some people did ask this. Jay only had one eye when he came to school, and he passed. This is true. This is true.
When I Jay.
If he can do it with one eye,
Yeah.
I mean,
And Jay will see some
He's
shit that
cheating.
nobody else sees too.
He's seeing other people's tests. Sorry, Jay. I love you.
You know, like this reality, man, is that you all you have is your word and your balls, man, in this world. And like, you know, you don't fucking break those two things for anybody.
he says hashtag facts.
Yeah. You don't break that shit for anybody, man. And you know, like the problem is that
All right, I'm good whenever you are.
that people have a lot of excuses when they come to school. Jason's class had one person. Her name's Liz, and I've talked about her before. She barely spoke English when she came to medic school, and I would spend every lunch hour. She would go, "Hey, Mister, I got 2 questions." That's what she would say, and I would sit the whole time. I didn't eat. I lost weight in that class because I spent the whole lunch hour translating.
What the fuck is that?
translating for Liz the whole thing I just taught in the morning, and then after class I would translate everything that I just taught in the afternoon. So, well, anyways, go ahead, proceed, buddy.
Okay,
Proceed.
so Florida broke a record
Yes,
and they got the largest python ever,
motherfucker.
18 feet long,
Ugh.
We're moving.
200
I'm moving.
pounds. And how many eggs were in its belly?
Let me scroll down.
I
It's like-
remember
okay, go ahead.
122
What the
that.
fuck?
We're moving.
Where
We're
was
moving.
it found?
You
in
know-
the Everglades.
You know whose fault this is? People like Jason.
Yeah.
800
Yeah.
feet long.
Not
and
one eye, Jason.
200
This
Wait,
one right here.
how many feet long?
18 feet long, 215 pounds.
You know
That's
what?
like
22
that's
eggs.
3.5 of me.
Did they kill this thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank God.
All
Why?
of the,
Thank God.
All the pythons are
The
they're
Burmese python.
invasive, so they kill them all. Yes.
Yeah,
Really?
we
Yeah.
should kill all snakes.
They didn't
Yeah.
put them in
Well-
a zoo?
No.
Why?
They're invasive.
It's actually the state actually pays for those snakes.
We
So
here the rescue company
hunters
wants.
were
We will start paying for people to kill snakes. All snakes should be
not
killed.
all snakes.
By the pound.
Yes.
Not all snakes.
We will pay you
yeah,
for killing
it's- I think
snakes.
it's length and weight. But
Yeah.
I'm not positive.
I
That's
mean,
like-
I got one
That's
question.
on the trail.
I got one question about this.
Yeah,
When
not-
this snake was found, was Benjamin Abel or Jason Rivera there at all?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
I rest my fucking case.
Do you have the Pocky video? The
what?
chip challenge?
Of him?
Yeah.
No, I never got the video.
You,
Oh, I
you
never
didn't
got
get
the
it?
video. He just told me about it.
Yeah.
As I
Oh,
told you to send
sent
it.
I did send it
You did?
Okay.
How did you send it?
via text.
Okay, let me look.
Oh, I didn't.
So
Be pulling that up.
so
How do you feel about that challenge?
well, I'll talk about that when video comes up, but I do want to I know we're trying not to make light of the situation. I think this is the beginning of a really bad thing if we don't get a hold of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Snakes?
Oh, definitely.
From a couple
Snakes or the
reasons.
Paramedics.
If we don't get a hold of
Both?
there's got to be a standard to teach paramedicine.
Yes.
There has to be an accreditation thing. Does it have to be this one thing? No.
Can
And I
I
have a
start my own
problem.
accreditation?
Jason, you were there for this conversation. A gentleman a few weeks ago, we're teaching a class, and he asked me to basically put a package together, and that he wanted me to present that to him so he could present it to his people so they can buy the stuff we use in a class, right?
Right.
And I said,
No.
no,
No.
right? Because I don't want to have a monopoly. I sell education. I don't sell products.
Right.
Does that make sense? I sell a body of knowledge. That's what I sell. I don't sell fucking a book for it. I don't sell a survival pack that you're going to have for this. Fuck that. I don't do that. You know why? That's wrong. And when these accreditation people, though, they sell products
Mhm.
and they have relationships with other companies. And these groups have a vested interest in pushing this unrealistic standard to sell a product. And I don't like that.
Yep.
That's a bad thing. That's a bad stuff. So I think that, yes, I agree that we don't need to have that COAM standard. But I do agree that the schools that teach have to be institutionally accredited.
So does
The school-
institutionally accredited mean that you have to have a certain percentage pass, even though they're not up to
You
par?
basically have to meet the standards of, like, a college. Not every art student that goes to a college has to pass. There's
What
no
do you
standard
mean?
for that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, colleges have standards, babe, that accredit them as a university or a college, right?
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a private school, public school, or anything, you should have an accreditation that accredits your institution, not the program
So
itself.
do they actually look at like your curriculum as
Yes.
opposed to passing rates?
Yes.
What a concept.
Yes. Yes. So you're being
Amazing.
sarcastic because it's a great time to be, because I'm always a fan of it.
I'm saying that more accreditation bodies should do that.
Yes.
Look at the curriculum as
Yes.
opposed to the pass rates.
Do you mean?
Like, it's not anybody's fault that, the new generation has decided to not put any time and effort into the shit that they do.
By the way, you don't even have to guess what the curriculum is. It's posted by the Department of Transportation.
Yes.
It's free. You can download the shit, and you just have to
Read
do
it.
it. Right? You
Look
just have to
at
do
it.
that.
I told people, you want to pass your natural EMT? Just memorize the medical and trauma assessment.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
good.
it's not rocket science.
It is not rocket science.
Yeah.
I don't know how people fail it.
So my stepson, the ginger that has no soul,
He built a workbench today all by himself.
did he really?
He did.
Yeah, he,
That's awesome.
guess-
He did try to quit
From IKEA.
like twice, and I was like, "There's no quitting.
So
Go
he,
back to it."
he got me a Father's Day gift, which is pretty cool because we always talk about eating spicy stuff with the house and shit like that. And he got me the hottest chip, like the hottest chip that they make. These people make a different recipe every year.
Challenge.
Oh, wow.
And it was a scorpion pepper and a reaper together, and pure misery.
Oh,
I'm
For
gonna
how
look
many
at-
days?
I love
2
it.
days.
just hate spicy.
He's playing the video. Hold on. You watch this. This sucks. Right away, it hurts.
Really?
It is pure pain in my mouth. Like, it isn't like a fun burn or anything. Dude, wait. You gotta wait for a second there.
I think I see beads of sweat on the head. Oh.
Nope.
Oh, dude, this is fucking horrible. Watch this shit.
Oh, there it is. Oh, shit. That's how you know. The hiccup. The hiccups.
That's pretty bad. I don't puke though.
You
I
don't
don't
puke?
puke. I don't puke. Yeah, but it's fucking pretty bad, dude.
Oh, man. And then what about the following day? How was
Oh,
that?
bro, they don't even. Let's wait till we get to the following day. So, the reality, bro, right away, I am.
Let me tell you, I did
miserable.
not get any medicine.
No, why? Yeah.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Like,
bet.
I drink milk. You start drinking milk,
Yeah.
doesn't make that shit better.
Oh, really?
There is
Okay.
nothing that makes this better. Like, I'm gonna tell you this: you give this shit to a terrorist,
They were caught.
that motherfucker's gonna tell you whatever you want. Like, you give it. I can tell you right now, I'm never gonna have top secret clearance. If somebody does that shit to me,
You're done. You're
they
done.
show me the
I'll tell
shit.
you.
I'm gonna turn in some secrets. I'm gonna point on a map where that shit is. I'm like, God, I'm gonna tell you, man, that shit hurt. So the belly pain that I had was horrible.
Yeah.
Like the belly pain. This is that. 30 minutes later, I'm
Oh,
miserable
I would be
with
miserable.
belly pain.
He was on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
And
You like hot stuff. You eat hot stuff
all the time.
Yeah,
Bro, like stuff that I'm gonna tell you. And then this morning, like it's like somebody pepper sprayed my ass. like my ass was in a riot. Like and the cops threw out mustard gas and they fucking that's just fucked up. Like Rob sprayed my ass with his pepper spray. That happened. So that was it. Hey, baby, you got anything before we leave?
What's so funny?
Our next air medical class starts on Monday. So if you feel like coming,
Last minute,
you might as well jump in.
However, we got one in October as
We
well.
do also. Our next one is in October. Our NDOC is July 21st.
Yeah, if you want to do any search and rescue stuff, a lot of people always ask about it and stuff. You want to jump on helicopters and planes
You
and
do
shit,
have to go through that first.
you got to come through this thing right here. So,
And ALS BLS competition, the Bill Shearer competition, is July 14th and 15th. If you would like to volunteer, we are accepting volunteers. And if you want to sign up as a team, we would love to have you.
yeah, come on over.
Come on.
What you got, Hippolyte?
I know Raleigh McNally will be there.
Yes, she will be. Yes.
I just want to apologize for everybody. I have lots of technical difficulties with
We're
with
learning.
this stuff.
We're learning.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be. I should be good. But for all of you that are, still on with us or pay attention, any little bit of comments will definitely be appreciated. And come. Okay.
What's that? What I missed?
I said Raleigh McNally says yes.
Oh yeah, she will be there. Yeah, this year there will be no videos played. If you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
No
absolutely.
porn videos.
Yeah,
Only
good.
some- only
allegedly,
some now.
allegedly.
Allegedly, no
Yeah,
porn videos at any of our sites.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I'm
Brett.
not coming.
Yeah. Well,
Never mind.
yes. I wish I could read a text on the air that I got from Brayley the other day.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which?
Yeah. Not even gonna talk about it, Brayley.
not the shower.
Yeah.
Oh, the Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nope.
the shit that happens to me.
Oh
Hit
yeah.
that mute button.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Birthday buddy, what you got?
I don't even know now. This guy,
Oh yeah. I don't know where he comes from.
I don't know. He just appears and he won't go away. I do, because he does do everything I tell him to.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I just have to say, sign up for some stuff. It's all on our website, and
Yes.
don't be an asshole.
Yes.
And if you come to one of our classes, don't expect to be handed a certificate. You're
I
going to
won't-
have to work for it.
I will not hand feed you anything. Fuck that shit. Yeah.
I mean, we make some good food. You will eat well all week.
Listen, it's crazy. Yeah.
You'll get all the information you need.
I do think that sometimes the universe lines up and it meets certain things, and the more I thought about certain things that happen today, more things fuel the topic. And the reality is this: that we've got to get away from the participation thing, or the entitlement that you should be given whatever the fuck you think you should be given. Things that are worth having are hard to get. You have to put work into it. You have to put work into it. You have to want it. And the person that gets the job is the person that fucking kicks the door down and puts the work in. They want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reality is, not everybody gets a fucking trophy. Not here. Not at this fucking company. Where you will. So till the next time, go fuck yourself. Bye.